Hello everyone, my name is Minji Gong, a lead teacher working at Sunnoon Elementary School in Gwangju Metropolitan City. To get things done efficiently, there are procedures to get things done. We call this procedure algorithm. To apply an algorithm to a computer, it must be expressed in instructions that the computer can understand. Coding is writing an algorithm to solve a given problem, and turning the algorithm into instructions that a computer can understand. When coding is complete, it is called a program. In the coding process, the problem is checked through debugging. And when all problems are solved, the computer executes the commands. All of these processes are called programming activities. In this lecture, we will use Scratch, which is made so that students can use it easily and do programming activities in connection with the math class. First, we will create random addition quizzes using random numbers. And we will learn how to score the number of correct answers and organize them into a game format. When the program asks simple addition in the form of a quiz, we enter the answer. Then, the program judges whether the entered answer is correct or incorrect, and scores the number of correct answers. In order to practice various calculations, we need to code the problem so that it is different each time. So here we will create a problem form in which we put random numbers in a variable and add them. If you use the method to store a value using random numbers and variables in the data block, and check the value, you can automatically ask a new question every time, and automatically score the answer to the question. So you can apply programming effects. The programming conditions are as follows. The cat sprite presents a math problem, and the user enters an answer. Code the cat sprite to determine whether the answer entered by the user is correct or incorrect. If the answer is correct, say good job. And if the answer is incorrect, say wrong. When the set score is reached, the backdrop and cat sprite will change appearance and say bye. Let's take a look together. Now, follow the process of automatically creating math problems and grading answers. First, let's code simple addition to ask and answer questions in the form of a quiz. Let's choose and use the cat sprite in the sprite window. Click Choose a sprite in the lower right corner, and select the cat sprite from the Animals tab to import it. Let's choose a backdrop. Click Choose a backdrop in the lower right corner. From various backdrops, select School. From the Outdoors tab to import it. Click Make a variable in Variables, and create 3 variables A, B, and score in turn. Select when the flag is clicked in Events. In Motion, set the position of the sprite to go to X0, Y0 and select Set Size to 120%. In Looks, select Set My Variable to 0 in Variables. To change my variable to Score, and select Show Variable My Variable in Variables. To change my variable to Score, select Set My Variable to 0 in Variables. To change my variable to a, and select pick random 1 to 10 in operators. Set variable a to pick random 1 to 10. And also set b to pick random 1 to 10. In sensing, select ask what's your name, and wait. Select join apple banana in operators to times. Combine my variable a, plus, and my variable b. Select the if then, else block in control. And add some blocks in operators. In look say, good job, for 1 second. And select change score by 1 in variables. If the answer is not a plus b, have it say, wrong. In looks, for 1 second. Select forever in control. From the part where a, b variables are set to the last part. Let's make it stop if the score is 5. Put these blocks under change score by 1. Select if then in control. And select this in operators to set score 5. And select hide variable my variable in variables. To change my variable to score. In look say by. For 3 seconds. And in control, choose stop all. This time we will set it to stop when the score is 5. And also change the sprite appearance of the backdrop and sprite. Click choose a sprite in the lower right corner. And select the cat flying sprite from the Animals tab to import it. Click Costumes to see a different appearance of sprite. Click Cat Flying B. And drag it over the first cat sprite. Let's choose another backdrop. Click choose a backdrop in the lower right corner. From various backdrop. Select light from the Patterns tab to import it. To view other selected backdrops, click Backdrops. In Looks, select Switch Backdrop to Light. And switch Costume to Cat Flying B2. To display the same backdrop and sprite as the first screen, when clicking the flag again. Add switch backdrop to school and switch costume to cat A in looks. Click the flag and check the result. You can practice many math problems by replacing addition with subtraction, multiplication, or division, or changing the range of variables. The next activity is to calculate a number according to the rules that you set when you enter a certain number. We will learn how to calculate using Scratch, based on the Collatz conjecture. The Collatz conjecture asks whether repeating to simple arithmetic operations will eventually transform every positive integer into 1. It is named after mathematician Lothar Collatz, who introduced the idea in 1937. It is also known as the 3 multiplied by n plus 1 problem, the 3 multiplied by n plus 1 conjecture. The sequence of numbers involved is sometimes referred to as the hailstone sequence, hailstone numbers or hailstone numerals. because the values are usually subject to multiple descents and ascents like hailstones in a cloud. The rules for calculating hailstone numbers are as follows. 1. Choose an arbitrary positive integer. 2. If the number you picked is even, divide by 2. If the number is odd, triple it and add 1. 3. Perform this operation repeatedly. If the previous term is even, the next term is 1/2 of the previous term. If the previous term is odd, the next term is 3 times the previous term plus 1. 4. These sequences always reach 1, no matter which positive integer is chosen to start the sequence. After coding according to these rules, if one natural number is selected and input, and the program judges the input value according to the calculation rules of hailstone numbers. Let's code hailstone numbers to appear as a list when inputting a number, and to indicate the length of hailstone numbers list when the calculated value is 1 as a result. In addition, we will use the values in the list to show the process of data change in a simple graph. The programming conditions are as follows. The wizard sprite says enter a natural number, and the user picks and enters one of the natural numbers. Code the wizard sprite to run its calculations according to the rules of hailstone numbers. When the calculation is done, indicates the length of the list of hailstone numbers, and a graph for natural numbers entered by the wizard sprite. From now on, try coding to calculate the number according to the set rules, and use the coding result to check whether Dr. Kalatz's conjecture is true. Delete the cat sprite in the sprite window. Click Choose a sprite in the lower right corner, and select the wizard sprite from the People tab to import it. Let's choose a backdrop. Click Choose a backdrop in the lower right corner. Select Zygrid -20px from among the various backdrops. Some variables are needed as the number keeps changing during the calculation of hailstone numbers. Let's name the variable n, MP. In Variables, click Make a Variable, and create variable n, MP. We also need a list to show the length of the list. Click Make a List in Variables, and create the list hailstone numbers. Select when the flag is clicked in Events. In Sensing, select Ask What's Your Name, and wait, and enter a natural number for the question. In Variables, select Set My Variable to 0 to change my variable to n. In Field 0, select Answer from Sensing and enter. In Variables, select Add Thing to hailstone numbers, and enter the thing as variable n. In Control, select the If-Then, Else block. And for If-Then, select blank equals 0 in Operators, and select blank more blank in the front blank to enter it. Enter the variable n in the first column, and 2 in the second column. Select Set My Variable to 0 in Variables. Then, input the variable as n, and select blank divided by blank in Operators to enter n, and 2. In Variables, select Add Thing to hailstone numbers, and enter the thing as variable n. For Else, right-click the previous 2 blocks, and select Duplicate. Then paste them, select n for the variable, and blank plus blank, and blank multiplied by blank in Operators, to input the value as 3 multiplied by n plus 1. Select Repeat until in Control, and let it repeat until n equal 1. Select Say Hello for 2 seconds in looks, and select Length of Hailstone Numbers from the list in Variables to enter what you want to say. In Variables, select Delete all of hailstone numbers and connect to the next block when the flag is clicked. When speaking of the length of the list, let's change the shape of the wizard sprite to another appearance. Select a sprite and click Costumes at the top left to see the different appearance of the sprite. In Looks, choose Switch Costume to Wizard B and connect it to the block that says the length of the hailstone numbers. Also select Switch Costume to Wizard A, so that when you click the flag again, the wizard sprite appears in its original appearance. Click the flag and enter a number to check the result. Next, when the calculation of hailstone numbers are completed, with receiving a message signal and using the values in the list, let's express the data change process in a simple graph. Select a wizard sprite and select Broadcast Message from Events as the last block to add it. Select Message as New Message and set the new message name to Graph. Select Choose an extension at the bottom left of the screen and select Pen as the extension function. When the wizard sprite is selected and in Pen, select Erase All and connect to the next block when the flag is clicked. In Motion, set the position of the wizard sprite to go to x-175, y, 0, and connect to the next block Erase All. Click Choose a sprite in the lower right corner, and select the ball sprite to import. Select the ball sprite, choose When I Receive Message from Events, and change the message to Graph. In Motion, set the position of the sprite to go to x-120, y, 0. Select Set Size to 20% for the size of the sprite in Looks. In Pen, select Erase All. Pen down. Set pen color to black. Set the pen size to 3 in order. In Variables, select Set My Variable to 0 and select the variable as P. Select Repeat in Control. For the number of repetitions, select Length of hailstone numbers in Variables. For each iteration, select Change My Variable by 1 in Variables and change my variable to P. In Control, select If Then and enter P is less than length of hailstone numbers plus 1 using the block in Operators. Select Glide 1 second to x0 y0 in Motion and enter the time as 0.5 second. x-120 plus p multiplied by 10. Y item p of hailstone numbers multiplied by 1. In Pen, enter stamp. Select Say Hello for 2 seconds in Looks and duplicate and paste item p of hailstone numbers so that the ball sprite can say for 0.5 second. When drawing a graph, enter Show List Hailstone Numbers and hide List Hailstone Numbers in Variables to hide the list, and show the list again after displaying it as a graph. Click the flag and enter various natural numbers to check the result. This time, we used Scratch to do a programming activity in connection with the math class. Use Scratch to improve your understanding of the programming language and discover the various features and usage of Scratch to make it useful in class. Thank you all for watching.